So, friend, good morning, everybody. Today, we are going to have, we are going to start the new chapter, new unit, which is going to be last unit as per our curriculum is concerned. The title of this unit is Research Report and Proposal Writing. So, in this case, in this particular unit, we will be talking about what kind of various reports, research reports we'll be having, and how we can write proposal for getting fellowship or getting funding from some funding agency. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, this topic is not going to be a part of your either second semester or semester 8 examination. But I thought like I should teach you everything so that it will be useful for you for your future. So to begin with, there are mainly 5 types of research reports. What are those? Number 1, pre-PhD synopsis or synopsis of project, which you generally write in the beginning. Please unmute yourself. Please mute yourself. Mohammed, your mic is unmuted. Why don't you understand, yaar? Why don't you understand? Are you kid? क्या बच्चे हो क्या? ये कौन फॉरेनर है या इंडियन है मुझे पता नहीं. If he is Indian, then he will be able to understand Hindi very nicely. And if he is foreigner, you need to understand. You are spoiling everything. You are unnecessarily creating nuisance. Who is this? Mohammed, can you please speak? Mohammed, can you please speak? Otherwise, I will remove from the. If you don't speak, I will remove you. Mohammed, you can you please speak? So I have removed him now. So remember, if you are not following discipline, I will remove you from the platform. And moreover, I will never allow you to appear for attend the classes. Okay. So try to be disciplined student. Okay. Don't create any disturbances in between, because we are recording this lecture for your purpose only. So good morning, student. Welcome back again for this lecture. As I mentioned earlier, this is unit 4 of our research methodology course. The title of this course is Research Reports and Proposal Writing. In this particular unit, we will be discussing about what kind of research reports are there whenever you will be pursuing for PhD. And moreover, like whenever, like after your PhD or even during a PhD or before PhD, after your master's, if you really want to apply for a fellowship, like many master student, because very recently one of my master students, she went to South Korea. She got fellowship for her PhD, and she has already joined one of the universities in South Korea very recently. So whenever you will be like you are interested to join foreign country as a PhD student, you will have to submit your proposal to get your fellowship, get your tuition fee reimbursed, and as well as to have some stipend during your PhD. So we need to understand how to write that research proposal as well. So this chapter particularly deals with that aspect as well. So there are mainly 5 types of research reports. Pre-PhD synopsis, usually which is submitted in the beginning of the PhD. Like whenever you will be getting yourself registered for PhD, at that time you will have to submit a synopsis, which is called as pre-PhD synopsis. or we can call it as a synopsis of project. Like for example, even after PhD, you want to initiate new project, so you will have to write down in the beginning phase, in the beginning of your research project, you will have to write down proposal, right? So synopsis of your project. Or even during your as I mentioned earlier, whenever you will be going to MSc second year, second semester rather, you will have to write down the research report, that is synopsis of your project, which you will be undertaking during third and fourth semester of your MSc. So that kind of report is always submitted in the beginning of any research degree. It could be like master degree or it could be PhD degree. We call it as a pre-PhD synopsis, or we can call it as a synopsis of the project. Second is PhD synopsis. Like once you undertake your research, once you complete your PhD degree, PhD research, during the entire duration, it could be like 3-year duration or 2-year duration. Then at the end of, before you submit your thesis, you will have to again submit your PhD synopsis. This is going to be at the end of your PhD degree. Okay, and we can call it as a, or like if you are undertaking any project, then you will have to submit again, like before you submit the entire project proposal, project report of your project. Before that, you can submit the glimpses of your research result, and that could be referred as synopsis of the project. Next PhD research report is going to be PhD thesis or project report. So once you complete your PhD, you will be required to submit your PhD thesis, or you will be required to submit the entire project report. Okay. Then fourth kind of research report could be manuscript of the paper, manuscript of the research paper. Like whenever you will be completing your research, and then whenever you like, if you really want to publish your research paper in the standard national international journal, then you will have to draft manuscript of that research paper, right? So that is going to be one of the research report. And then last is going to be research proposal for getting any fellowship or funding. So like that, there are 5 different kinds of research reports. Whenever you will be undertaking research, you will be coming across these 5 different kinds of research report. So we will discuss one by one. The first one is the pre-PhD synopsis, which you will be submitting right in the beginning phase of your PhD, or the synopsis of your project, which you will be submitting right in the beginning of your project, right? So this is going to be outline of your pre-PhD synopsis. आउटलाइन का मतलब ये है कि ये सब पॉइंट्स उसमें रहने चाहिए, राइट? सो फर्स्ट पॉइंट वुड बी टाइटल. I told you earlier, like you should start with very broad title, and then after literature review, or not truly speaking literature review, but after going through the fundamentals and the initial literature review, rather, you should have a fine-tuned topic. I told you earlier in the last lecture as well, like how to start with broad topic and how to come up with the fine-tuned topic. Here we are expecting fine-tuned topic of your the PhD or research project or whatever, right? So it will start with the title of your project. Next one will be introduction. Like for example, introduction should consisting of some introductory remarks about the topic. Let us say you are working on conducting polymer based biosensor, right? If you are talking about conducting polymer based, if this is your title, like conducting polymer based biosensor, then you need to mention like which biosensor, what is the status of biosensor as on today, what biosensor means, the definition of biosensor, and then what are different kinds of biosensors, and then what are the analytes which you will be looking for. That should come, all those things should come in introduction part. And then what kind of technique you will be using for detection of those bioanalytes and all those things. So that need to be written in introduction as far as biosensor is concerned. Then then the next point would be the fundamental of material. Like if you are using conducting polymer, then you need to understand what are the different materials which are available, and then moreover, like why conducting polymer is going to be important, what kind of advantage you will be having by using conducting polymer. All those details need to be written in introduction section. Then next come literature review. I told you what the literature review means. Literature review means like you will be going through the research papers so far which are published. Because literature review, I also told you earlier, like what are the sources of literature review. Sources of literature review could be all published articles, all unpublished articles, it could be databases, it could be video recordings, it could be audio recordings, right? All this could be whenever you are talking about, whenever you are discussing some important concept with any legendary personality in your subject, that can also give you some kind of the input which will help you to fine tune your topic, right? So this is what it is happening in literature review usually. In order to do literature review, as I mentioned earlier, in one of the earlier lectures, that you need, first of all, you need to understand what the Journal of International Review means. Then you need to identify the at least 10 Journal of International Reviews, and then you will have to again identify those important 10 journals, and then you will have to download at least uh, for if you are MSc student, at least 10 research paper, for PhD student at least 50 research papers from various at national as well as international level. And then you will have to understand like what kind of objectives the research group were having, what kind of methodology they were using, what kind of research they got, and most importantly lacunas in their investigation. So that, well, because if whenever you will be identifying lacunas in their investigation, it will help you to understand like the gaps, right? Because I told you many times that literature review always mean for identification of gaps, right? Once you identify gaps, you will be able to bridge those gaps, you will be able to prepare your own comprehensive planning to bridge those gaps, right? Therefore, literature review is going to provide you an opportunity, or it is going to provide, yes, but it is going to provide you an opportunity to generate some questions, right, to formulate your hypothesis. And therefore the next point is going to be hypothesis, right? What is hypothesis? Hypothesis is a kind of estimation that you will be expecting at the end of your research, like what you will be doing. Hypothesis should consisting of specifically two paragraph, which I already told you earlier. Like first paragraph should be what he will be what he will be doing in the research, in the research, proposed research. And then second paragraph would be what you are expecting in the the proposed research. वो expectation clear होना चाहिए. It should be in numeric, I mean numbers होने चाहिए वहां पर. Whatever fine tuning, whatever refinement, whatever upgradation you are expecting in the current status of research which you will be dealing with, that should talk in terms of numbers rather, so that it can be tested. And then based on hypothesis, you will be writing objectives. Objectives is kind of the flow of, is kind of algorithm, truly speaking. Objective is a kind of algorithm, a logical step which you are going to utilize to achieve your goal, right? And then next would be methodology. Methodology means like whatever the list of objectives you will be having, then you need to understand like which method you will be using. Like as I told you earlier, for example, synthesis of carbon nanotube, right? So synthesis of carbon nanotube can be the objectives. Methodology will be the synthesis of carbon nanotube by using, for example, chemical vapor deposition method, right? So you will be specifically mentioning the technique or method which you will be utilizing to achieve your objectives, or to implement your objectives, right? And therefore methodology, if there are 5 points in objective, there should be 5 points in methodology. I told you earlier too. And then based on the methodology, you will be making your experimental plan. So experimental plan means what exactly you will be doing. What would be your first phase of your experiment, second phase of your experiment, third phase of your experiment, fourth phase of your experiment, whatever, right? All those, the sketch proper action plan can be experimental plan means a kind of action plan you will be uh, you will be implementing in due course of time. And then expected outcome. Truly speaking, hypothesis में already हमने लिख ही दिया होगा what you are expecting, because as I mentioned earlier, hypothesis will consisting of two different sections. One is what you are going to do, and second section would be what you are going to achieve, or what you are going to uh, uh, what you are expecting rather, right? So this is what you will be writing in the expected outcome. And then references means whatever papers which you must have referred for literature review, that can appear in the references. So this is going to be outline of your pre-PhD synopsis. Now this will be outline of PhD synopsis which you will be submitting at the end of your PhD. PhD जब आपका पूरा खत्म हो जाएगा, जब PhD थीसिस सबमिट करने के पहले जो सिनॉप्सिस सबमिट करते हैं आप, वो उसका आउटलाइन कैसे होना चाहिए. देखिए पहला पॉइंट तो सेम रहेगा, टाइटल. सेकंड इज गोइंग टू बी आल्सो सेम, इंट्रोडक्शन. थर्ड इज आल्सो गोइंग टू सेम, लिटरेचर रिव्यू. फोर्थ इज आल्सो सेम, hypothesis. Fifth and sixth is also same, objectives and methodology. So from 1 to 6, these are exactly the same point which we have referred in the pre-PhD synopsis. However, next is going to be a chapter wise summary of the research, because here क्योंकि यहाँ पर जो हमने लिखा था, तो हमने क्या किया, मेथोडोलॉजी के बाद एक्सपेरिमेंटल प्लान, लाइक व्हाट एक्सपेरिमेंट यू विल बी doing, right? But here, because during this 2-3 years of your PhD, you must have done some experiment, you must have got some result, right? So there would be a chapter wise summary of result. Like for example, if you are having 5 different experimental chapters in your PhD thesis, if you are planning to incorporate 5 different experimental chapters, then chapter wise summary of research need to be mentioned here, because this is going to submitted to the university, and university will send this PhD synopsis to the referees, right? PhD referees, so that whenever this report goes to PhD referee, it should PhD referee should understand what kind of work you have carried out, right? And therefore you need to summarize what kind of work you have done and what kind of result you got, chapter wise, right? And then overall conclusions, what are your overall conclusion of your thesis, and then references. So this is going to be the outline of your synopsis which you will be submitting at the end of your PhD. So if you look at these two report, in this case, this last but one to this experimental plan and expected outcome, these 2 points are going to be replaced by chapter wise summary of the result and overall conclusions. Next comes outline of PhD thesis. जब आपका पूरा काम हो चुका है and then you will like to submit your PhD thesis, then what should be the outline of that your PhD thesis or the project report. Like आपने काम किया, प्रोजेक्ट आपको मिला था गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया में, फॉर एग्जांपल आपको एक प्रोजेक्ट दिया है, and then you work on that project, you got some result, now you will have to prepare the report. So this should be the outline of that report. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4 points, 5 points are going to be exactly same. Introduction, literature review, of course title is missing, title has to be there, right? So title, introduction, literature review, hypothesis, objectives and methodology, these are going to be exactly the same. Let me write this here, the title was missing. So title, okay, title, and then introduction, literature review, hypothesis, objective and methodology. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 6 point वैसे के वैसे ही रहेंगे. And now here, because this is going to be PhD thesis, you need to write a very comprehensive document, because in results and discussion there should be a chapter wise result and discussion. Like if, as I mentioned earlier, like if you are having 5 experimental chapters, then there should be 5 different research and discussion chapter wise. So there you will be making very comprehensive report of what kind of experiment you have carried out and what kind of results you got, all the results you got, and you will have to discuss those results as well in detail. So usually in thesis, this particular section, result and discussion, is going to be heart of your thesis. कम से कम 100-150 pages खास तौर पे आपको इसके होने चाहिए. Like every chapter should be having around 20 to 50 pages, right? And then next point would be overall conclusion, which is going to be same as earlier. And then here, one of the important point is going to be future plans. What would be because by this time you are going to finish the entire your PhD work? Like what would be your, like you must have spent 3 years, 4 years during your PhD. What would be your future plan? Whatever work you have got, whatever work you have carried out, and whatever result you got, based on that, what would be your future planning, right? So that should be a very integral part of your PhD thesis. And then references. So if you look at this, if you compare this with earlier, you can see here chapter wise summary is being replaced by result and discussion chapter wise and overall and then next would be a future plan, because instead of chapter wise summary, here it is a chapter wise summary of result. Here there will be results and discussion for each and every chapters, and then overall conclusion is going to be same, but future plan need to be added because it is not going to be in synopsis, but it should be there in the PhD thesis. And then outline of the research manuscript. Let us say आपने काम किया है, now you will have to submit your research paper to some very important journal which you would like to publish, right? And then this is going to be outline of that research manuscript. Again, it will start with the title, name of the authors and their affiliation, because I have one 2 hours lecture for how to draft research manuscript, because since because that lecture is not going to be useful for you, because since you so far you have not carried out any research, it doesn't make any sense if I deliver that lecture for you, right? So therefore I'm not, that has not been included in the curriculum, but it is like independent unit, independent chapter rather, how to draft scientific manuscript. But I'm going to tell you only the outline. So it should be, it should start with the title, the name of the authors and their affiliation, right? Abstract, introduction. इंट्रोडक्शन में क्या रहेगा, लिटरेचर रिव्यू, हाइपोथेसिस, ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, एक्सपेक्टेड आउटकम, ये सब रहेगा इंट्रोडक्शन में. एंड देन एक्सपेरिमेंटल टेक्निक्स, because you will have to write down what kind of experimental technique you have used, what kind of methodology you have used, and then results and discussion in detail in that particular manuscript, what kind of research you have got, and then you have to compare that research with prior work. Prior work means the earlier published work. You have to compare, and you will have to claim that you are one step ahead of whatever work so far published by other researchers, so that novelty can be claimed. And then conclusions of that particular investigation. Acknowledgement means like the agencies or institutions or individual who help you to undertake this research, that need to be acknowledged. And then references. I will show you one research paper so that you will be able to understand how what would be a content of research manuscript. If you remember, I showed you earlier also this manuscript. Let me stop this and I will share you another document for time being. You can see this. This is going to be title of the manuscript. Porphyrin functionalized single wall carbon nanotube camera resistive sensor array for VOCs, right? This is the journal of the name of the journal. Actually, this we are least bothered about this, because whenever you would be submitting manuscript, you did not write name of the journal, because this will appear once it is going to be published in that particular journal. Like whenever you will be submitting manuscript, you need to start with title of the manuscript first, and then the affiliate. Sorry, then the name of the authors. You can see these are the authors which work, who carried out this particular work, and then their affiliations, like name of the universities and department where they carried out this work. And then abstract, this is abstract of the research. And then introduction, as I told you earlier, introduction should reflect three important parameters, like novelty, then the social relevance of this work, and the credibility of the investigators. So these three parts, important parameter features need to be reflected in introduction. And then it would be like methods. Experimental section means this is methods, right? And then you can have the result and discussion. You can see these are the results, right? Either you can write only results or result and discussion. So here, whenever you are talking about result and discussion, you will be having figures, and then you will be discussing the results of those figures, comparing earlier published work as well. And then at the end, there will be conclusion. You can see here, this is the conclusion. Okay, this is the conclusion. Okay, so conclusion means what kind of important outcome you had through this in research investigation. And then you can see here acknowledgement. As I mentioned earlier, acknowledgement means like if you got funding from various funding agency, then you can mention here. If you got fellowship from various funding agency to undertake this research, you can acknowledge here. And moreover, like if you are having if you got any technical support or intellectual stuff support from any institution or individual, that also can be mentioned here. And then last one is going to be references. So this is how the research manuscript is going to be. रिसर्च मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट का मतलब ये होता है कि जब आप रिसर्च करोगे, रिसर्च करने के बाद आपको लिखना पड़ेगा, पेपर में पब्लिश करना पड़ेगा, and then sorry journal में पब्लिश करना पड़ेगा, and then once you publish this paper, then this is going to be a kind of recognition to you, because unless you publish your paper in good journal, nobody is going to recognize you, क्योंकि आपने कितना काम किया वो कोई नहीं जानेगा unless you publish your paper in journal of international repute. Okay, so let me again open the presentation. Okay, so this was the manuscript of the outline of the research manuscript. And then this is the last one is research proposal, drafting of research proposal. Like whenever you are talking about drafting of research proposal, you need to understand what are the key aspects. Now I have not discussed all those outlines because we have already discussed this in detail in last unit, right? How title should be fine-tuned, what introduction part should be reflected, how to do literature review, that we have also discussed very in detail. Hypothesis we have discussed in detail, objective, methodology, this every point, all those points we have already discussed in detail in earlier chapter, and therefore we are not going to discuss here in detail. In this particular chapter we are going to discuss in detail how the drafting of research proposal can be carried out, like what are the key aspect of drafting of research proposal that we are going to discuss in detail in this particular unit. Now, whenever you are talking about drafting of research proposal, there are three important key aspects. What are those? Like novelty, social relevance or national importance, and last one is going to be credibility or credential of principal investigator or researcher. अब ये क्या है? जैसा कि मान लो जैसे मैंने बताया कि फॉर एग्जांपल soon after your MSc you want to apply for PhD in either in foreign university or like even in India also, like if you really want to apply for PhD, you will have to write a research proposal, right? For funding. Research proposal will consisting of all both academics as well as some funding requirement, right? Like for example, if you want to submit proposal for our PhD here in BAMU, for example, then you are least bothered about funding because nobody is going to provide you funding. But if whenever you will be submitting proposal to any foreign university, then because their tuition fees is going to be very huge, you need to write a proposal for getting funding, so that you will be your tuition fees can be waived off, and you will be getting some fellowship as well. So therefore whenever you will be drafting proposal, जब वो proposal expert के पास जाएगा, तो what expert is going to look into this proposal, that I'm going to tell you. Like whenever, let us say for example, you are drafted, I'm the professor in one of the foreign university, and you would like to undertake PhD under my guidance there, right? So whenever I will be having proposal, what I'm going to look into that proposal, so I will be looking at that proposal, like whether this has got novelty or not. Novelty means, I told you earlier, novelty means what kind of innovation, what kind of new approach this particular student is adopting. Then social relevance means like whatever research outcome this proposal is going to have, whatever research outcome this proposal is going to have, whether it has got some societal relevance, whether these results are going to be useful for addressing some unresolved issues of the society. And then third point is going to be what is the credibility or credential of the research scholar who is submitting the proposal, right? So these three aspects are going to be taken care of, I mean very seriously reviewed by the reviewer, and therefore I am going to tell you how to incorporate, how to inculcate all those three features in your proposal. Let us start with novelty. In fact, novelty के बारे में तो हमने already discuss किया है, because this slide we have already discussed earlier also, right? If you remember, how to inculcate novelty in investigation, right? So in order to inculcate novelty in your investigation, you have to take care of these 4 steps. What are those 4 steps? You need to do a rigorous literature review. Rigorous means, I told you earlier, rigorous not only in terms of quantity but in terms of quality as well. So you need to review as many papers as you can, number 1. Number 2, you need to review paper of the potential research scholars, right? And therefore you need to identify what are the potential research group across the globe in your research area, right? Moreover, you need to understand what are those journal of international repute. You need to only refer those papers which are being published from journal of international repute. Otherwise you are not going to get any novelty out of that. And therefore you need to go, if you really want to incorporate or inculcate novelty in your investigation, you need to do rigorous literature review, number 1. Number 2, you need to identify journal of international repute. If you really want to ensure that whatever journals you are referring, those journals are quality journals, then you need to understand, first of all, you need to understand what is the meaning of journal of international repute. I already told you. And then you identify at least 10 best journal which has got international reputation in your field, right? And then identification of journals in the specified focus area. It's not only like, as I told you earlier, like you have identified 10 best journal in your area, but sorry, 10 best journal which as per all those 10 journals are having international reputation, but none of the journals are focusing your main focus area. Focusing means, like as I mentioned earlier, that whenever you are referring any journal, at least 50%, more than 50% articles which are being published in that journal should be from your own research area. But if it is not the case, then those journals are not going to be useful for you. Therefore you need to identify journal of international repute which are there, which are in your focus area. And then most important part that we already discussed earlier was identification of potential research group in specified focus area across the globe. Like because why this is important, because I have already given you example, like if you really want to ahead of all those research scholars, because you see, like whenever if you are doing literature review today, then maybe after 1 month you will start working on that area, and then it might take 5-6 months for you to get some useful results, and then another 1 month for drafting your manuscript. So once you finish your literature review, it will take at least 5-6 months for you to do the experiment, get the data, and draft the manuscript. By that time, even like while doing this, you need to ensure that you are always ahead of other research scholars. And in order to ensure that you are always ahead of other research scholars, what you need to do, you need to always see what others are doing. So therefore, you need to identify potential research group in your across the globe in your research area. Now this link is going to be terminated. You will have to join again by using the same link.